Hi guys, Serge Developer here. Today I'm going to talk briefly about when to pull back. Now, what do I mean when to pull back? This is mainly for developers who are working with a team in a company, or you're an employee and you're coordinating and collaborating with multiple people. There are some times in which you may know of a way that you think is better to do things, but there is a certain moment in time in which you might need to slow down a little bit and not try too hard or not try to push too hard your idea or the way how you would like to do things. So, first of all, one of the biggest challenges of um, working in teams or collaborating with others is basically handling team members who are, maybe, let's say, they have a strong character or a tough character. Now, what do I mean? Because I know these things are very vague and abstract. It could be the person who, if they have some idea, they would like to force their ideas because it is for them a way of self validation that they are being heard and respected, even if for some reason the others don't agree with them, or one of the team members don't agree. They get defensive and they want to push their ideas no matter what. Of course, here I'm not saying that if they are legitimately giving you a better way, a more correct way to do things, definitely we need to take the advice from them. But there are times in which there is no perfect solution or there is no perfect answer. And when you come across a situation when there is no perfect solution or perfect answer, this is when it might be better sometime if you just pull back, just take whatever the idea that you're being given and just go along with it. Because there are times in which the cost benefit of going back and forth and having meetings, discussions, etc., may not be very productive if, let's say, there is no significant big gain from, let's say, preferring ID A over ID B. And you will come across those situations for sure. There will be a situation in which you will be thinking of doing something in a certain way, but a team member will say, "Oh, I think maybe we could also do it this way." So, if you want to maintain the harmony within the team, the best way you can do this is by going along with their idea, assuming, of course, that their request is very reasonable and that it's not like, of course, I'm talking about normal teams, not, I'm not talking about the situations where you are in a toxic workplace or a toxic work environment where people are bullying you to force their ideas or stuff like that. And I hope you never ever end up in such a company or work with such people. So, to get back to the point, um, you should, like in a normal situation, take the ideas and see if both of your ideas don't are like equal or actually not going to be. There's no significance difference between them. Just go along, and the reason for this is reducing friction is very important because even, let's say, even if the other person is very open-minded and they're very calm and they're ready always to discuss your ideas, sometimes it's just easier just to like not to let's say get them burnt out because it does require some energy and effort to when someone is working on something to get someone else's idea, understand the way how they see it and try to apply it. This does require a bit of patience. So you don't want to, if someone is very patient, don't abuse it. Try to be very moderate about it. The only time when maybe you might disagree about something and when there is like clearly, I'm saying clearly, like a big problem or a mistake that is going on the long run to be very problematic and that can actually be mitigated when you have an idea that is way better and is actually going to reduce these negative consequences. So, one of the things that I learned from being a developer for many years so far is basically you have to be flexible. Sometimes you need to be open-minded. Do not disregard others' ideas or way of thinking. Be receptive, be open. Um, it doesn't matter really what is your impression of the person is. You need to be objective, take the idea as it is, study it, apply it, see if actually the idea is good, and that's it. You know, you need to really be very flexible and open-minded. One of the problems I noticed when working with developers in more, let's say, toxic work environments is that you have like developers who are like very, very hard-minded. They are very difficult to deal with. Um, they are sometimes unreasonable. They will ask you to do things that may not actually be necessary, or it's a huge time waste, not really something very productive, or doesn't bring any value. You need to be very careful about who you work with. So when you notice that there is someone who is being difficult or being unreasonable and they are trying to force their way on you and they are not being understanding, receptive, or even willing to have a phone call or have a Zoom call or Slack call or whatever to discuss the idea and to explain to you things, um, that means that you might be dealing with a toxic person. So in this case, I would personally just try to um, keep things to the minimum and avoid them maybe altogether. Of course, you don't always have this, let's say, possibility of avoiding someone that you are working with, which is this is again, it goes back to what kind of work environment you are in. In good companies with good HR and good, let's say, good HR and good environment, um, you will less likely find these kind of problems. They will be way less. You will find that people are more open-minded, they are more accepting of others' ideas, etc. But again, it depends because you might run into a situation where this is not the case. This is why, one of the things I like in general is it's now here's the thing. I'm not saying this to discourage you from being a dev or not saying that you will always come across these situations. I mean, if talking about the toxic workplace or toxic people, but you need to be just like the thing is, if you find normal workplace, which I think you will most definitely find with normal people, it's a very very pleasant experience being a dev. It's very nice experience, and you really feel good when you're working with smart people like you, who are also open-minded, receptive, and they try to actually be understanding and acceptable of others' points of views and opinions. on how things are done, or whatever code to be written, or whatever design pattern or architecture design, etc. You will find, usually you will find that situations like it gets more complicated usually if you're working on a big large project, because in a big large project there are a bigger number of devs, which makes things a bit complicated because you cannot control how each and every single person will be. But again, um, to get back to the main topic, there are times when you need to pull back, listen to the other person idea. Um, Sometimes you really feel like, but my idea is so great. Like my idea is like, I was really like fascinated. It's so cool, my idea. And this is what you need to try to control, because sometimes like being agreeable is more important than being smart. So you need to balance between those two things. In a time of disagreement with another dev that you're collaborating with, or a team member, avoid resorting into any kind of aggressive reactions, or avoid, taking it personally. Do not take it personally. You just have in this, like in such a case, the best thing you can do, if let's say there is a real disagreement and you really believe that the way how things are done are not really right, try to reach out to the person, say, let's have a call together, and involve maybe your tech lead, or the team leader in the conversation, and try to avoid using the blaming language. Do not say, "Oh, he is like this," or "you are like this," or no. Try to discuss the idea and say something like this: hi, team leader. We invited you to the conversation to get your opinion on uh, like this idea ABC, or his idea XYZ, and we would like to know which idea you think is more suitable, or that we should actually go with. This is a more nicer way of getting the person together, resolving, let's say, the disagreement. I'm not gonna call it a conflict, because again, everything I'm saying is assuming you are in a normal work environment, in a non-toxic friendly work environment, and that you are working with, in generally speaking, with friendly co-workers or friendly team members. So the team lead is probably going to say, okay, I think we could go with this idea. Good, fine, problem solved. Um, and actually, uh, your team lead is going to appreciate the fact that you you had a disagreement. It is good. Sometimes disagreement is good, and you involve them in the conversation. So this is going to be a plus for you, because you showed that you are ready to disagree when appropriate, and when there is a disagreement and there is no solution, you are not as afraid to actually reach out and ask for help. And here's the thing: in one of my old videos, I actually did talk about this, the fact that sometimes they do expect you to ask for help, because like asking for lots of devs feel afraid of asking others for help, because feeling of like being less, or feeling of shame. Unfortunately, some people don't make it easy for you to ask for help, because sometimes Some people just they don't know how to make you feel good actually about asking for help, uh, especially as a dev, or if you're working, in a team with multiple people on like complicated, let's say, projects. So you demonstrated this way your maturity as a developer, and this is something that um, not only you will feel better about, your team lead will feel that you are being mature, you are being reasonable. That the person you are having a disagreement with will feel you are uh, that you are not very aggressive, and that you are being, let's say, agreeable. Just make sure to make it clear that when there is a disagreement, make sure to make it clear to the other person that it is not personal, and that there is nothing personal. It's just and be very objective, and again, avoid using the words like, that any accusative language. Always be try to focus rather on the goal, and this way you will maintain a good relation with your team members without sounding like offensive, or aggressive, or anything like that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you found this to be useful tip for you if you're a dev and you are working in a team, or you're about to become a dev, and you are about to start your career as a developer. And if you found this useful, please like and subscribe, or follow if you are on TikTok or another platform. And if you'd like to support me and you'd like me to create more content like this, please check out my apps in the video description, or you can also donate to my Ethereum address in the video description. This is, of course, for those of you who deal with crypto and know how to deal with crypto. So, thank you again, and we'll see you later. Bye.